Hello, Jesse here with GPSCity. I'm going to take you through the Tools menu of your new Nuvi 500 series. To access Tools, from the main screen, just touch the bottom icon in the bottom right-hand side. That's our Tools icon. And then in this menu, we have quite a few options. First, I'll show you our options, and then we'll dig a little deeper into some of the menus. So first we have Settings, Where Am I, which tells us about our location and what's around us. Where I Go, which is an outdoor-based game. Help, which is a built-in tutorial into your GPS, so make sure you use that if you ever get stuck. We got our picture viewer. Custom routes. We also have compass for outdoor navigation. We have my data for managing routes and trip logs. We have a world clock calculator and unit converter for when we're traveling abroad. So let's go back to the top and go into our settings. Inside settings, we have a bunch more options again. We have system settings. We'll actually dig deep into this menu where we could actually turn on GPS simulator, which turns off our internal GPS. We got our usage mode. We also could change our units from kilometers to miles. And the About button tells us about the firmware in the unit and a little bit about the unit. Then we have our navigation settings. We have our display settings for brightness, for also doing screenshots, and what type of mode we're in. I always say leave it at auto. We have our time settings. We also have our language settings, and to talk about language a bit, inside voice, if you go inside here, you'll see a bunch of the languages have TTS next to them. That means text to speech. So those voices will say turn left in 100 meters on 32nd Ave. If it does not have TTS next to it, it will just say turn left in 100 meters. We have our text language and our keyboard language here also. We have our map settings, and this is another important one to know because when you're updating your map, this is where you find the version of map you have in your unit. At the bottom here, there's a map info icon. If you touch on that, it's going to tell you what map and what version is loaded in your unit, so you'll know if you need to update or not. The other options in map are the map detail, so you could set it from most to least. Of course, on most, it's going to take a little longer for your map to redraw. On less, it will be a little quicker. We have our vehicle icon, which we can change. The vehicle icon also changes when we change our usage mode, and our trip log, we could show it or hide it. We have our security settings and traffic, where we could add other traffic capable receivers. We have position formats lastly, and we've got a few choices in position format. So if you're in the military, you want to use NGRS. If you're using a paper hiking map, usually those are in UTM. So you'll have UTM selected, or for all other uses, it's usually best to use latitude, longitude. And lat long is identified right here by HDDDMMSS or HDDDD. And what that stands for is hemisphere decimals, hemisphere decimal minutes, and then hemisphere decimal minutes seconds. I prefer the top, hemisphere decimals. Then you don't have to do any conversions. Now let's go back to our main tools menu, and then we have our other options. So just to tell you a little more, in my data, this is where you could actually set your home location. You got your favorites you can manage. You could also manage routes. You could also import routes from files. So you don't need a computer. All you need to do is save a route to a file and put the card into this unit. We have our compass for hiking. Custom routes. This unit saves multiple custom routes just in case you don't want to follow the route the GPS tells you to. Our picture viewer for viewing pictures off a memory card onto a larger GPS screen. And then our traveling tools. So that was a quick look at the tools menu in your Garmin Nuvi 500 series. For more information and to purchase this great product, visit the GPS experts, GPSCity.